everybody. Welcome to Wrestling Through the Years. I'm the armchair QB1 Dizzle. I'm here with the biggest, most beautiful brain in the history of wrestling fans, Dutchie.
Yo.
And we're here with the man that puts the E in Enter the Sandman. Eric's here.
What's up?
You can't see him. And we got C-Money, everybody.
Hello.
We're here for a big one, ladies and gents. We're here for part 2 of our greatest commentator of all time tournament bracket.
Yep.
It's going to be a good one. We got a lot of good. Where did we land on Sean Mooney and Shane McMahon? Because I never did that. We can just redo it, but
I don't remember. I know I voted for Sean Mooney.
I didn't think we voted for that.
I thought we did do that one.
No, we didn't get to that.
We started talking about it, but I know Clintus was still feeling slighted over the botched coin toss.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, we'll get into it now. I mean, WWE's releasing more people. The pay cuts is going crazy. There's a lot of current stuff to bitch about, but
yeah, but we'll
save that for another day. So far, and you can see it on the screen here, everybody. We've had Michael Cole and Jim Cornette with Michael Cole going over. We had Vic Joseph versus Craig Johnson in a hard-fought fight, and Vic Joseph won. So round 2, we're going to get Michael Cole and Vic Joseph. Then Bischoff lost to Piper, and Boyd Pierce lost to Zbyszko. So those two are going to go. Then we had Steve Carino beat Byron Saxton, and Mark Madden beat Kevin Kelly by the grace of God. Bobby the Brain Heenan slaughtered Dutch Mantel. Jesse Ventura slaughtered Matt Stryker. Scott Hudson lost to the great Gordon Soley. Dave Brown beat Renee Young. Gorilla Monsoon swept Lord Alfred Hayes. Joe Tess beat Nigel McGuinness 3-1. Lee Marshall beat Joel Gertner. Bill Mercer beat Excalibur, and Bill Watts beat Doc Hendricks. So that's what we're working with so far. If we have a tiebreaker, we'll take it to the comments. If no one says nothing, we'll do the old-fashioned coin toss and try not to botch it. Let's get started. You ready?
Yep.
Shane McMahon and Sean Mooney, which I know we talked about it brief at the end of the episode. I remember when Shane's mostly here for his work on Sunday Night Heat when it first started.
Yeah, he really didn't do anything else.
And I really thought he was probably about as good as his dad, except he didn't have the what am I over. Like I thought Shane was way too into it and way too passionate. Like it was too much. And him and Cornette were a weird combo.
I actually liked him and Cornette together though.
It wasn't bad, but it was weird, in my opinion.
I'll go Mooney because Shane didn't do it for that long.
Well, Monkey Dishes think it should be Shane.
All right, so we're going to use him as a so we'll use him as a tiebreaker if it ties.
See, but I'm going to agree with Shane as well. So there.
All right, it's up to you or I. I mean, I'm saying Sean Mooney. I liked his commentary a lot better.
So if I go Shane wins.
Yes.
A lot of pressure. Honestly, I thought Shane sucked, so I'm going to go Sean Mooney. I really didn't like Shane.
All right.
I love Shane as a babyface, and he's actually my favorite McMahon, but in the commentary, I didn't think he was that great.
Right. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. All right. But we will mark it as a 3-2 because we did have a somebody in the comments give an opinion.
Whatever you want. But Sean Mooney won this match.
All
right. Now to one that's going to be a lot of fun. The Coach versus JBL. Two very eccentric heel color commentators. Kind of similar roles to an extent.
Yeah.
But the Coach was so fucking annoying, in my opinion, and it just never really worked as a character for me. And I'm just not a huge fan of his work. Whereas JBL, I thought was super entertaining, and calling Michael Maggle, and I thought he was hilarious.
And he could give a history lesson when he had to.
Yeah, and the way
I'm already going JBL because I don't like Coach.
All right, so Eric already put his vote in.
So there you go.
Yep. I can't stand Coach, so
I really enjoyed JBL.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say JBL. I'm going to agree with Eric.
Clemens?
Ah, man, this is a hard one for me because I kind of like both of them. I mean, they're to me they were both good. They both did have storylines behind just commentary alone. So if I would say I might go towards Coach. Say yourself.
All right. It's up to the Dizzler again. I think. Well, I didn't like Coach's commentary. I'm going JBL.
Okay.
Sorry, Clemens.
Mm.
JBL wins. Next up, we got Dio Madden and Don Callis, which is two interesting choices. If you don't remember Dio, he was when they tried to switch up Raw and SmackDown a little bit.
Yeah,
was-
they gave him a shot, and they told him he sucked by having him get beat up by Brock Lesnar.
That was a fun spot, though.
Yeah.
But it was him, Lawler, and who?
Oh,
Was it Cole?
No, it was Vic Joseph.
Oh, okay. So that was them trying to switch it up. I didn't mind Dio. I thought he was okay. Not super memorable, but Don Callis, Doug's called him a hemorrhoid on the butt of life before. I think he's funny. He can be a good heel color commentator, but I like him better as like a manager that guest stars, like on AEW.
Like I actually kind of enjoyed the commentary he did with Joey Styles and
As Cyrus.
as Cyrus in ECW, but that's only because Joey Styles absolutely hated it because he felt like he could do it on his own, and I hate Joey Styles, so I was okay with Cyrus being a pain in the ass. So I'm actually gonna go. I hate the motherfucker, but I'm going Callis.
I'm going Callis too.
Eric and I are agreeing way too much. I might need to leave the show.
yeah, you are.
I don't like
When,
it.
yeah,
I'm going Dio Madden.
What, yeah, I'm leaving the show. Did it just fire me?
I think so.
I said, yeah, you are. I mean, you guys are way agreeing too much.
Yeah, you're too synchronized. You're going Dio, Clenneth?
Yes.
I'm going to agree with you. We'll leave it to the comments. Anybody watching, we'll give you about 30 seconds. Dio Madden or Don Callis, who wins the tiebreaker here? We don't get it. If we don't get any bites, we'll flip a coin.
All right.
Because I'm going. I thought Dio was fun in his role, and the way Lesnar wrote him off was cool. Whereas Callis, whenever he's on screen, I'm like, ugh.
I know. Usually, I'm doing the same thing. Okay. Do you
I
have
see.
anybody? Or,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Plymouth, I'm sorry.
Quit yapping.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. It's a podcast. What were you saying, Clenneth?
No, I said he's an eyesore.
Yeah, he is.
Make my ear hurt.
All right. Do we have anybody in the chat room that would like to, before we do the old coin flip?
The old flip of the coin.
They also might not know who they are either.
Yeah, they're probably
they'll
looking up
probably
Dio
like
Madden
that,
right
They're
now.
probably just like, wait, who are these guys?
Who the fuck's Dio Madden? All right. All right. We'll leave it to the coin.
All right. Somebody want to call it for heads?
Tails.
That's not what you asked.
really make my dick itch. Whose heads
I
and whose
said
tails you-
Dio is heads. All right,
Okay,
happy.
all right, thank
Dio
you.
is heads.
I had to let that breathe because that was hilarious. All right. So he said
My
Dio's
head hurts.
Yeah.
Dio's heads. All right.
Did Clint just say his hair hurts?
His head.
My head. My head.
His hair hurt.
I don't. All right. What do we got?
Dio Madden's moving forward.
All right.
Good for Dio. All right.
By the time you got to win.
He would have kicked Brock Lesnar's ass in the payoff. Did that. All right. Now, this is a Doug one where he can give everybody a history lesson. We got Ron Trongard versus Bob Caudle.
All right. Rod Trongard was the AWA announcer for about 3 years, maybe 4. Because I think he started in the 84, 85 timeline. and he was the main announcer for AWA, did the television show, and like all the special events. And then in '88, he took a job to work for the WWF. He did mainly the Garden shows, Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, Spectrum, LA Sports Arena. So basically, like all the televised house shows that they did on like the special television networks at the time. And Bob Cottle, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, did work for WCW when it was technically still the NWA for a while. He was Jim Ross's partner. Also worked for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And also a little known trivia fact, Bob Cottle was actually worked in the office of former North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms.
Holy shit.
So they're both very old school announcers. Rod Trongard, a lot of people say wasn't necessarily that good. There's a lot of respect for Bob Cottle.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite old school ones.
Yeah.
I almost thought he was like better than Soli, and I know that's weird, but I'm going Bob Cottle.
So am I.
Eric?
I agree.
Clement?
I agree.
I agree too.
All right, Bob Cottle gets the W. Next, we have probably my favorite matchup on here.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, I got crap for this earlier.
I'm sorry. We have Booker T versus Paul Heyman. Two hilarious color commentators. I mean, both have had memorable lines with Booker T and the Devil's Kiss and the Booker T is actually one of my favorite parts of the WWE video game because his lines are fucking. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, I love it." Like he just gets so fucking into it.
Yeah.
His first run with the Shucky Ducky Quack Quack and that stuff on SmackDown, and then his worst run was with Corey and Michael. That was bad on Raw.
Yeah, and they knew. Yeah, him and Graves like did not like each other.
Yeah,
that
wasn't good. I think he's really found his footing in NXT with Vic Joseph.
Yeah,
they're a pretty damn good duo. So, and he adds a lot of life to the product. So he does get his shit, but I don't think he's as bad as people think he is. He might have started out bad, or not always been great. I think now he's kind of really found his niche. And also, Paul Heyman is the man that said the infamous line when Trish had to bark like a dog for Vince when she was stripping, and he's like, "Is this C-SPAN? Because I think we're going to see Bush." Which he almost got kicked off the air right away.
Yeah,
thank God Vince was in the ring. If he wasn't going, "Ah, damn it! What are you doing?"
It's Vince's fault for hiring him.
Yeah, but I mean, and Heyman was edgy. I think
he was also edgy in WCW too.
Yeah, but he was, and he did commentary a little bit, but he was like the promoter. And he was Paulie. Him next to JR was a magic. And the Invasion does not have a lot of good things said about it. One of the really good things was that commentary.
Yeah.
If King and JR, because there are people that are like Gorilla and Bobby people that don't like JR and King and thought it was a little too much. I think that a lot of those people prefer JR and Heyman. Of course, and if you're going to replace the King, because JR and the King were iconic by then already.
Yeah.
If you're going to replace him, that was the right replacement. And it didn't feel like it skipped a beat. Yep. And he was like a dick and like that.
And he's also somebody that Jerry Lawler did not like.
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I think Vince did it.
But him and JR, that Survivor Series pay-per-view when the Invasion angle ended, that's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And the way he was talking shit to JR the whole night, and then when the Alliance lost, and JR's like, and then, like JR's talking shit to him, and then them firing him the next night and getting him out of there, kicking and screaming, and the King's back. He had a great year run doing that. Yeah. That was fun.
And I'll tell you another good moment, another kind of funny line is like Heyman said something, and JR's just like, "You're really gonna rub it in, aren't you?" And Heyman goes like a good masseuse. And JR's like, don't put that image in my head. So I got to go Heyman.
I'm going Heyman. He was more edgier.
All right. I'm going to pet you.
See, I'm more current. I want to say Booker T.
This to me is one of the hardest matchups. Doug's Heyman, Clintus Booker T. Eric, where are you landing?
I'm going Heyman.
I liked Heyman, but another thing, we can't just factor in like highlights and stuff. Longevity is a big deal.
It's definitely a big deal.
Now, someone say Heyman went on to bigger and better things. He wasn't really built to be in. And by the way, I was talking about him and JR. Saturday night, they were a good combo too.
Yeah, well, that's what I was mentioning earlier too.
Yeah, that was really good. I think that he did have some good runs, but they didn't last that long. His runs were probably better than Booker T's, but Booker T's still in the game, and he's honestly doing his best work.
Right. Oh, no, I can understand that. I don't feel I got yelled at for Booker being in this thing earlier, so that's why I'm voting.
And I don't want to piss off our good friend Kenny Lehman, but I do, Ken Pernicus, but I do want to.
You want to be fair, and you think the fair choice is Booker, and we go to the coin flip.
Because there's not many ad-lib guys in wrestling. Yes, there's guys that have their quotes and Jared, my God, slobber knocker, and you have stuff like that, but you don't have like a like the shit. He brings so much personality to it, and he makes it so much fun. Listen to that, like when Sexy Red's dancing, he's like, "Yeah, man, I like it." Like it's just the best shit ever. He's really entertaining. They're both entertaining, but Heyman's almost better in other places, whereas Booker T, I like him.
Okay.
I'm standing with Clint tonight. You and Eric can stay united. Let's flip the coin.
All right. Eric, call it.
Heads, it's Booker T.
What do we got?
It's Heyman.
Heyman.
We tried Booker.
Kenny, you cannot kick my ass.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
You can't get it. It's fine. All right.
I pushed through who he wanted to
Kenny.
win. So, huh?
He wanted Heyman.
Which Kenny?
Yeah.
Lehman. Ken Pernicus. The one that used to do the show with us. Vince McMahon and Bryan Danielson.
Oh boy.
This is fun because Bryan Danielson's on AEW now. I don't think he's everybody's cup of tea because he's pretty dry.
Yeah.
But he does kind of have a little fun with it, and it isn't bad. And a lot of people think Vince is like comically terrible at it. And the whole
I always thought Vince sucked.
I do love the 1, 2, like him always seeing that it was going to be a 3 count. I was like 1, 2, no. I did like that, and of course you got to love the water maneuver. And I don't know if like there's matches where he never called the hold. So like a play,
He didn't know the whole.
Yeah, he did not know the moves. So there was certain times where he's just like, what a maneuver, what a maneuver.
That's why he had to. That's one of the reasons why he brought JR along is because like JR knew the moves better.
Yeah. So, but he brought personality to it, and it's fun seeing especially because Vince is one of the. I know people have their thoughts on him now, and I can't blame them at all. But he is one of the more entertaining figures in the history of wrestling.
Yeah,
such a great heel, and it's fun watching him back then, and then seeing him get the little get the face, and because then you'll think of the God damn it, like it starts to all like click.
Yeah,
like it really is all the same dude, and. I'm going to give Vince the edge over Danielson because Danielson, he's a bit dry. I do like that when like they're bleeding or when it moves too much, he's like, that was something. That was a little crazy. He calls that shit out pretty good, but now I'm going Vince.
As much as I love Brian Danielson. Oh, sorry, Dylan.
No, finish.
I'm going Vince.
All right. Dutchie?
I'm gonna agree and say Vince, unfortunately.
Clemens?
I'm going Daniel.
Let's just try to be different tonight. All right. Now we have Mamma Mia, Mauro Ronaldo, and the NWA's Joe Galley. Now, poor Joe Galley, because I think he's going to have trouble here because not a lot of people watch that product.
Right.
No offense to Billy Corgan and the NWA, and I think they're really trying a good shit. And I've seen some matches, and it is good stuff sometimes.
I mean, technically, we have the channel to watch if we really wanted to because we have a Roku stick.
And as a fan of pro wrestling, I'm glad Trevor Murdoch ended his career there because
Yeah.
I thought he actually had like a career.
Well, he's a 2-time NWA champion.
Yeah, he kind of had a career renaissance, and he was born to be like that, an NWA champion. Like he was kind of born in the wrong era with the ruthless aggression era. Like he wasn't, not that he's not a star, but he's not Vince McMahon's you're a star.
He's built more like a Harley Race and a Dusty Rhodes.
And a Dick Murdoch.
Yeah.
So, I do like the NWA, and I think Joe Galley's funny. Well, not funny, but he's like a fun personality, and he's like really trying to keep it professional, and I like that. Mauro Ronaldo, he's one of those love him or hate him. You either think he brings a lot of personality, and he's kind of like he's really passionate and into it, or you might think he's like a discount JR with stupid catchphrases.
Yeah.
Like you might not be, and you might be like the Mamma Mia shit's a little too much. I know Corey Graves thought so. That's why he's not on the list.
Yeah. But he's also not on the list because we're completely stupid.
Yeah. All right. Well, he wasn't going to win anyway. I
Yeah.
hate Corey Graves. No offense. What do we think here?
I'm going Mario.
Mario.
I'm going Mario.
Oh my god, it's not his name.
I'm going Morrow.
I call him Mario. Get on.
Super Mario.
I mean, he
Mamma
does say
Mia.
Mamma Mia like Mario does, so.
I'm gonna go Ronaldo, and not the soccer player.
Yeah.
Now we have Larry Nelson and Wade Barrett.
All right, here's the quick history lesson on Larry Nelson. AWA announcer. He was the ring announcer for a while, also hosted a television show. But he did do commentary, especially when Rod Trongard left. He was working a lot with Lee Marshall, like when Ray Stevens didn't feel like working with Lee. But he would do the do the color commentary with Lee Marshall. And he was very good. He had a lot of personality. He kind of came off as like that announcer that was like, he was corny, but he was still like kind of fun to be around. He was kind of fun to listen to. And it's actually funny. So his career ended. He got pulled over. For driving under the influence, coming back from the country club, going on his way to record the interviews for AWA. But he was drinking at the club with the other AWA people, but he's the only one that got caught. So, but yeah, Larry Nelson, he was around for about 4 years.
And he made that AWA product feel professional.
Yeah.
He did. Now, a lot of people, I feel bad for him because a lot of people kind of find that product a little boring out of the territory stuff.
Yeah.
I like the AWA, and I thought he was actually had some personality, but he played it straight. But I thought he was good.
Yeah, and like when he would do the ring announcing, like he would be like, this is he was always like the way he announced, this is one fall for a 10-minute time limit. And then like just the way like he would move his hands.
Yeah.
And all that, like do the hand gestures. I mean, I think he's going up against it's somebody who is like 100 times better, but I do like Larry Nelson.
I like Larry Nelson too, but Wade Barrett is really coming to his own, and he's probably my favorite color guy in the business. To be honest with you.
Because by the way, he works with two people, and he makes it work with both of them.
Yeah, and I think for a color commentator, most people think over the top. They think of like Ventura.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and Bobby Heenan. But Wade Barrett plays it like he's calling a soccer game. Like he does root for the heels, and he does like, oh, that's nonsense. And he does like really. He is a good heel color commentator, but it feels professional in a way, and it kind of like helps the product. Him and Joe Tess are like my favorite duo.
Yeah. And by the way, before he got rehired back to WWE, he was working with Joe Galley. He replaced Jim Cornette in the NWA.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good duo.
And because he was so good there, that's why they hired him to work in WWE.
Yeah, and then he was in NXT a little bit. And
NXT with Vic.
yeah, Wade Barrett's really kind of revived his career.
Yeah.
As a commentator, I think he's really. I'm going to give it to Wade because I've loved his work. I think he's the best thing they got right now.
Yeah. Larry Nelson, God bless you. R.I.P.
Yes.
Been gone for many years, but I got to give it to Barrett.
I'm going Wade too.
I'm going Wade Barrett.
All right. Now we have an interesting one. The self-proclaimed greatest announcer of all time.
Oh my God. Here's the funny thing. Randy.
We got to say their names though. Josh Matthews versus Macho Man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Randy Savage wasn't necessarily good as a color commentator.
Yeah.
But Josh Matthews is a shit stain on the underwear of life.
Well,
a piece of shit. Like, and he's bitter towards the company because back in 2014, he was doing the job where he was hosting the, he was hosting the pre-shows and all that. And
which I liked kind of.
Yeah.
That,
but here's basically what happened to him. He was doing a pre-show, and it was a like before Mother's Day or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And he said to Natalia, he goes, Natty, you are technically Gizmo the cat's mom. So happy Mother's Day. Alex Riley looked at Josh and said, Josh, you know Gizmo's dead, right? Because Natty did not take that very well. Now, he was still around for like a few weeks after that, but it was pretty much that moment that like when Vince knew he was going to, because Vince had to do budget cuts, he knew, he's like, yeah, Josh Matthews is like the worst announcer we have. So we're fucking getting rid of him.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, that's a faux pas. I don't know if that deserves a firing, but that is crazy. If you thought that Michael Cole's heel commentator run was the worst thing ever, watch Josh Matthews in TNA. And he was there for the Cole one. He was like a babyface trying to like be good with Lawler. Like him and Stryker kind of both like played that like babyface that was uncomfortable during that. And I didn't like either of them doing that because it just didn't work.
Right.
You needed like a muscular guy to be like, hey, Cole, I'll kick your ass if you keep fucking with King. Like I just didn't like, I think Samoa Joe would have worked better there. Josh Matthews wasn't that good there. And then he goes to TNA, and it really feels like even if the creative was given to him and they're like, hey, do this, I thought it was just a blatant ripoff of the Cole shit. Like,
well, you know who was in charge, who was basically writing the creative at the time, right?
who?
It was Bruce.
Oh, so there you go.
So, and Bruce had his head up Vince's ass for so many years. You had to think that he's just like, all right, yeah, we could probably do a better job than Vince did.
He was gone by the coal miner shit, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, he didn't watch.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had a good relationship with Vince. It was Stephanie that fired him.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't bring a gun to work. But I really do think that Josh Matthews at times was just put in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Like I thought if they just let him be like an underdog play-by-play, because Josh Matthews was my favorite person on the first Tough Enough season. That's who I was rooting for. Fuck Nathan. I really wanted Josh Matthews to win. He was like the underdog. He was the one that really loved it. He was the real fan when you had like Nowinski and Maven, just handsome dudes. And like this guy's like just trying his fucking best and he's trying to flip and shit. Like I really enjoyed Josh Matthews. And then as a commentator, it's like, well, let's give him a shot. The thing that he falls in, and even right up to the heel turn, he just sounds like a discount Michael Cole.
Right.
He just said like him, Grisham, all those guys are just like all those. And maybe it's the WWE system and it's not even their fault because you got to, not that we got to give grace, but you got to think the play-by-play guys for WWE, maybe other than Jim Ross, had it way worse than any other play-by-play guy in the world because they're getting screamed at in their headset. That doesn't happen to any other commentator but a WWE play-by-play. The color guys, they kind of leave alone a little bit most of the time. But the play-by-play guys get fucking just staunched, just fucking, you say this, you fuck them. Like they're getting yelled at while they're trying to talk and entertain. That's a hard situation to be in. So I do give those guys a little grace. But when he went to TNA and it's like, all right, here's your run, it was all dog shit. So I can't even really blame the WWE for that. Macho Man, the only thing I really remember about his run is that it really seemed like he just wanted to keep wrestling. Even though a lot of like reports were like that was his call, he wanted to wind down. It really, and I know maybe they were just trying to maybe that's just the character and what they were trying to do. Because there was a lot of times like, I wish I could get in there, but it just felt like it felt like it was real. It felt like he did not want to be commentating and he wanted to wrestle still.
Well, that's one of the reasons why he left is because he was told he could wrestle in WCW.
Yeah.
So anybody that says, oh, well, it was his call is fucking lying.
And then he had a great late life run.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to go Macho Man. But to me, it's closer than you would think.
Josh Man is scum, so I'm going Macho.
I don't
I'm going Macho as well.
On commentary that much, so I hate to say it. I'm going Josh.
I hate that you're saying it too.
Well, I got overruled anyway. Macho Man makes it to the next one. All right. Tony Schiavone, match 25. Tony Schiavone versus Mick Foley.
And this is interesting because Tony Schiavone is the one that made the comment about the butts in the seats.
Yeah. And now he's about to whoop his ass. Which is, I mean, and Tony Schiavone kind of, he didn't fuck up. It was a call given to him. But he ended up getting screwed with that, and then WCW lost the war.
Yeah.
But Mick Foley, when JR went to SmackDown, and I know he was pissed about it, but when he got drafted to SmackDown, at first it's like, oh, JR and Taz could be great. But then they were doing the ECW thing, and it's like, no, we're going to get JR and Mick Foley. And I was excited at first. I was like, this could be great. These are two of the most lovable guys.
Mick had been calling for it weeks, leading into the draft.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what I want. And then it happens and they're good for a month. And then,
Mick couldn't take the screaming in the headset. That's why Mick stopped. Mick didn't want to do it. He's like, I'm trying to work. And a guy that I thought, it was in his book, a guy I thought had so much respect for me and loved me as a talent, screaming in my ear. R.I.P. Ted Turner, everybody. But the man that built TBS, CNN, the Braves, the Hawks, WCW, so much stuff.
I wanted to say that because we're talking about Tony Schiavone, so.
Yeah. And those two, I mean, Tony Schiavone is the voice of Ted Turner's company.
Yeah.
But I really do think that, if Mick it could have been better, but also it didn't really work in its own right because it was two baby faces.
Right.
And it was kind of just like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. This is good. And that can be kind of a trap. You need that juxtaposition of King kind of being a dick. And even when King was kind of babyface, him and JR just had such good chemistry by that point, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But JR and Mick just didn't really gel. JR did not want to be on SmackDown, and you could kind of tell. And Mick Foley could not take, getting yelled at in his ear, which I can't blame him. So it just really didn't work as a run. Whereas Tony Schiavone, people give him a shit, especially now, and they say he's just the old guy that laughs on AEW. But I think he's like one of the greatest of all time, and he made WCW feel important.
Yeah,
mainly because every night he's like, "This is the biggest night in the history of our sport." He said that 100 times.
Yeah.
But I love Schiavone. I think he's right up there with JR. I think he's one of the greatest, and I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Cactus.
Oh, me too.
I'm going Schiavone. He's my favorite. So I'm definitely going Tony Schiavone.
See money?
I'm gonna have to go with Tony.
All right. We got another sweep. We're getting through here. 26. This is a fun one. TNA and other places, WCW as well, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy Borash versus Pat McAfee.
This one is interesting. I know Borash is mainly known as an interviewer. He did do some color commentary. He actually did commentary for the matches that they did on at WWE World, that broadcast on YouTube.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's the first time Jeremy Borash has been able to call matches for because he works in NXT.
That's cool. He called it for the W.
Yeah. So and Pat McAfee to me is just an idiot.
I think Jeremy got screwed with being a Russo guy.
Yeah.
Because he was very close with Russo. They worked on stuff together. Like Borash was doing creative in WCW with Russo. So, and I think that might have put a negative stamp on him for the rest of his days in the wrestling industry. Whereas, and I like Jeremy. I like him better in TNA as a interviewer.
Right.
I like him better interviewing people. I thought he was great at that. And then Tenay and Don West behind the desk. Pat McAfee was a lot of fun as a babyface announcer. Yes, he's stoned, but he's having a great fucking time. And you can use the heel run against him, but that's not really what we're talking about here.
Right.
I think like him yeeting on the desk was a moment. It was a big deal. He kind of brought that celebrity air too, and where it didn't feel annoying yet.
Right.
Him and Cole was having a lot of fun with him. He brought the best out of an old Michael Cole,
right?
Which is pretty cool. Cole's not really the same now, and he's not doing he's still good, but he was really firing when they were in that WrestleMania 40. And Pat McAfee, like that exchange when Cody finishes the story, and Pat McAfee's like, "What's going to happen with the future of the Bloodline?" Or maybe it was Graves that said that, but I thought it was Pat. And then Cole's like, "Who gives a damn?" Yeah. I love those two. They had a lot of fun together. I'm gonna have to go Pat. No offense to Jeremy, and I know people think Pat's a nutsack, but I thought
I'm one of those people, so I am gonna go Borash, even though I do understand your points.
All right,
I'm gonna be unbiased here. I made myself known that I don't like Pat McAfee, but I'm going Pat.
All right,
I'm going Pat as well.
All right, goodbye, Jeremy Borash.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee won. Next up, and I feel bad for this one because
this one hurts my heart because Jerry the King Lawler we know is the GOAT, but Don West, he's a sentimental favorite in a lot of people's hearts.
And Don West versus Jerry Lawler, this sucks because I think Don West in any other matchup here, besides the big horses, but a lot of probably 80% of the other matchups he could get, I think he's winning and going on to the next round.
Yeah,
because Don West was a real fun color guy for Mike Tenay and TNA, and those two were a really damn good underrated duo, and they helped make that era when it was like a hot era. And it was some of the best wrestling on TV. WWE wasn't doing this quite as good, and they were putting on great shit, and Don was the voice of it with Tenay. But Jerry the King Lawler. Now, if you think Jerry Lawler is a little polarizing now, he's not like he's considered probably the GOAT color commentator, but also there's a lot of people that it's creepy. You go back and listen to him, he's a lot of all the sexual innuendos, all the puppies. They made that Attitude Era, and it was a lot of fun. Him and JR really helped make the Attitude Era. And but especially because they were doing that up until like 2006, 2007. He was getting old and he was becoming really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And there was times where it was like, all right, King, calm the fuck down, buddy. And so you might have that view on him like that. But I think he was so fucking entertaining. Him and JR is my favorite. It's the soundtrack to me growing up.
Right.
I got to listen to these guys since I was a toddler. So I'm going to have to go King over Don West, but there was a lot of Don West being excited about AJ throwing a Pele every time always made me pop. But he's like, oh, he hit the Pele kick out of nowhere. He started the RKO out of nowhere before it even was a thing.
I'm going to go Don West just because, sentimental, and he was just so underrated. I mean, this is a shit match for him, but I'm going to give a little love to Don.
Oh, I was going to do the same thing, Doug. We are definitely agreeing today.
So you're going to give it to Don too?
If Jerry the King Lawler doesn't make it to the next round because you two are blowing each other, that is blasphemy. Clarence,
man.
go ahead.
I just think Don
Get the
West
point
focused
off.
on wrestling.
Yeah,
the
he's
point
like
off.
these two over here playing buddy.
Shit. I love Don West, but to say he's better than Jerry the King Lawler is fucking blasphemy. If King doesn't make it out of the first round, that's insane. This
Get
is
the
like
point off,
kind
because
of-
it's ridiculous.
Last week on the episode, you took out a friend of mine.
well, Nick Joseph's doing good shit. All right, Don West and Jerry the King Lawler. Call it, Doug.
Lawler heads.
All right. Son of a bit. Oh, Lawler won.
Lawler got it.
Heads. Almost fucked that up. Oh, god damn it.
See, Doug, I thought I was going to be the only one doing Don West, but
We'll give him 4. Well, me and Kenneth got justice finally. Jerry
Yeah.
Lawler makes it to the next round. Next up, we have Tom Phillips, which everybody knows is, in the SmackDown Live era.
Yeah. And right now he's working for TNA.
And Joel Watts.
Bill Watts' son. So he came in, he worked, Mid-South, UWF. He worked a lot with Jerry Lawler, or not Jerry Lawler, with Jim Ross. He was actually the play-by-play. Him and JR would sometimes switch off play-by-play and color commentator.
Oh, that's cool.
Now JR was better at it. But, I mean, Joel actually got a job. He worked for Vince for a while because he was a friend of Bruce Pritchard's.
Yeah.
So they were going to work and they were going to do the commentary for the Houston wrestling because Vince had bought Houston. So they were going to take over the TV show for Sam Houston Coliseum. And but Paul Bosch kept fucking it up. So Vince is just like, you know what? We're not even going to do any matches at Sam Houston Coliseum.
Yeah.
And then they fired Joel right away.
All right, what do we think, boys?
Tom Phillips.
I wasn't a
I'm gonna
fan.
agree with Doug.
I wasn't a fan either, but I'll go Tom Phillips still. Clemens?
I won't go Tom Phillips.
All right. Good job, Tom. All right. Now, a really entertaining one. We have Taz versus Dusty Rhodes.
Oh,
Which Dusty, a lot of people kind of shit on his commentary.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, he didn't call much as it holds or anything, but I thought he was funny as fuck.
Watching the Saturday Night video last night.
Oh, dude, when Billy Kidman was wrestling, he's going, Billy Willie, Billy Willie.
Yeah.
Like, he was so entertaining, and he was just a lot of fun. And I'll never forget Hulk Hogan coming down to go join the NWO. And when he first comes down and Dusty thinks he's babyface, like, who'll be bad now? Who'll be bad now? Like, Dusty was so, he's like, yeah, fight for WCW. Like, I love Dusty, and I do think he was even entertaining as a commentator. He might not have, he more talked about other shit than what was actually going on. But Taz came into his own, and Taz almost had a better commentary career than he did wrestling career, which is insane. Him and Michael Cole really defined SmackDown, and it helped set Michael Cole up, and he really helped in that. And him on AEW brings a fun presence.
Yeah. I did like him with JR for a while, and I thought him and Joey Styles were okay for a little while too. But I also did like him with Mike today. I hate Taz personally.
Him and Styles were just calling bullshit.
Yeah. But I'm going Taz because Dusty never did it for me.
Excellent, Taz. Clemeth?
I'm going Taz.
All right, it's a Taz clean sweep. Sorry, Dusty. R.I.P. Still one of my favorites of all time. Now we have a fun one. Taz's partner in ECWE. Oh my God! Joey Styles versus Vampiro from Lucha Underground. And I thought
Joey
Vampiro was pretty fun. And he's done other stuff, right? Didn't he do some New Japan or no?
I feel like he did.
But I specifically remember from Lucha Underground.
Yeah, working with Stryker.
I thought they were a fun duo for that, and that show was really good.
Yeah.
And they kind of helped that. And it felt like kind of legit, but it was a performance, but it was good. Now, it just wasn't that long, whereas Joey Styles had a pretty long career with ECW. Joey Styles did the burden that nobody else could probably ever do, which is call shit by himself, which is pretty fucking – I mean, if any of us did this podcast by ourselves, it would be kind of hard.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, to just be the only voice for something. And he did it for a long time.
Yep.
He was
I
good
know,
with
'cause I
partners.
do-
He was almost better by himself than he was with partners. Eric, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I know how it because I do a lot of shows myself, so I know how it is. So
Yeah, it's hard.
yes,
It can still be good, but it's hard. And Joey did a really good job, and I am gonna push him past Vampiro. But I do like Vampiro's
Yeah.
work.
I'm gonna agree.
100% Joey Styles.
Oh my god!
I'm going Joey Styles.
The catchphrase did get annoying though.
Yeah.
All right,
So
At
Taz and
times,
Joey
not
Styles
all.
are going at it in the next round.
that'll be good. All right, Lance Russell versus Jim Ross.
Another one I got in trouble for.
a heavyweight fight here. Tell the people about Lance
All
Russell.
right, Lance Russell was the man. He was the guy in Memphis. He was the lead commentator along with Dave Brown, but his voice is synonymous with Memphis wrestling. He also worked for WCW for a little bit. He did one of the syndicated television shows. He actually worked with the Freebirds.
Okay.
But he was so synonymous with Memphis wrestling. He was basically Memphis's Jim Ross or Gordon Soul.
And he had a really hot product he got to call too.
Yeah, especially in the early '80s.
And JR is very self-explanatory. He's one of the GOATs. He's the soundtrack to a lot of people's childhood.
Yeah,
He's beloved. Everybody loves him. He's one of the commentators that
well,
was
Maven doesn't.
fuck Maven. He was one of the commentators that was really a character on the show.
Yeah,
And JR was about as over as everybody else.
exactly.
And he had a relationship with the top star. He was enemies with Triple H. Like he had his own beefs. Like JR was really synonymous with the Attitude Era. Now, people can't forget, in WCW, he was the man too.
Yeah,
I don't agree with Bischoff to say he should go in the WCW Hall of Fame before Shivani, but I do think he brought an era of legitimacy to it. And he
well,
was really
Eric
good.
Bischoff is also extremely stupid.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? Go
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, all right. I'll be right back.
But it was really good. It was good shit. I do think his stuff in fucking Mid-South is classic too. That's when he really came into his own. The only strike you can put against JR is that he got older and he's still doing it. And he's not as sharp as he used to. But how the fuck can you expect him to be? I still think he has done some fun stuff in AEW in his late career. Him being able to call that Dustin Cody match at Double or Nothing, that was magic. And he was kind of a part of that. So, and when he's like, you can feel Dusty in the room, like he really made that. So that was great for him to call, him getting to do like WrestleMania 25 and stuff. But I can see striking JR for his later stuff, and especially in New Japan because he didn't know the names and shit. But I didn't.
Not at all.
JR,
But Josh Barnett didn't either.
How the fuck can you expect JR to call New Japan? I mean, it's so out of his loop. But he's done good stuff with AEW. Yes, people give him shit because he kind of calls the product out. But also, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like that he calls bullshit. So I'm gonna have to pass JR. I'm sorry to Lance Russell, and I think he is a legend. But JR is just too near and dear to me and a lot of fans' hearts.
Yep, JR. And JR has some
You know, Lance.
called matches in 4 different organizations:
Yes.
AEW, WCW, WWE, and
The only one he didn't do was ECW.
Yep.
Yeah, he never worked for. By the way, JR also worked for Mid-South.
Yeah.
That's where he started.
Yeah.
And he called Cornette had him in Smoky Mountain.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow,
even
so
though
6.
I'm going Lance Russell, I do agree with JR.
This saying that JR is the number 1 seed is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he really is.
Clintus, go ahead and give your vote for JR.
Yes, I am giving my vote for JR. It's a good day for JR, a good day for the Sixers right now. So there.
Oh, thank God. They've been having some bad fucking days. Mike Tenay and Kurt Hennig is our last matchup of the first round. Mike Tenay was the voice of TNA for the longest time. Him and Don were great. Him and Taz were pretty fun. Kurt Hennig did a lot of color stuff.
For WWF back in the
He was mostly with Vince, right?
mostly with Vince. Did a little bit with JR, but not much.
McMahon. I that was more like Ventura, but
Yeah.
Kurt was fun and it's sort of memorable, but Tenay was the voice of TNA.
Now, since I'm going to say today, you're not going to give me shit for this like you did for Don, are you?
No, because you're not fucking over one of the greatest of all time. Kurt's a great wrestler, but you were trying to screw the king.
I wasn't trying to screw the king. I gave a vote to somebody that I felt like did a good job as a color commentator.
Do you think he was better than the king?
At times, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I agree with that. I think he focused more on wrestling.
I think you're both dick riding, but Gwyneth?
Oh God, man.
I'm agreeing with Doug again.
Me too.
Me three. Mike Tenay is the winner of the last round.
Yep.
That's going to be a good one later on.
All
Let's
right.
get right into it. We only have so much time, so
We can kind of.
we'll speed through here. We've already given the background on every single guy, so
Yeah.
now let's just say who's better.
Michael Cole over Vic Joseph, in my opinion.
It's Michael Cole versus Vic Joseph, the first match of the second round. I think this is hard. I think Vic Joseph's doing good shit in NXT. What do we think, boys? Doug
I'm
went
disagreeing with Doug on one, Joseph.
All right. Thank God.
I'm going with Michael Cole.
Don't worry, Eric will do something to piss me off on another show.
Joseph's done great shit. I'm going to go Michael Cole as well. He's been the voice for a very long time. It's hard to stay around that long.
Yeah,
And he's kind of hit his prime just a couple of years ago.
I know.
Roddy,
Which is weird because he's been around for 30 years almost.
it is weird. Roddy Piper and Zbyszko,
Zbyszko.
both fun
Zbyszko.
colored guys. I'm going Zbyszko too. Clement?
Me too.
All right. A sweep. Steve Corino versus Mark Madden.
I got a lot of shit for passing Mark Madden through last week, so I'm going Steve Carino.
I'm going Mark
Corino.
Madden. Mark Madden, I thought, was more people. Well, I don't know if more people watched. Nobody was watching either. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I guess Carino won.
Yeah, you know.
You're going Carino, Clenneth?
Yep.
Eric?
Yeah,
Reno.
Mark Madden got fucked. Bobby the Brain Heenan versus Jesse Ventura. This is a hard
Bobby.
one. Two legend color guys.
It's very hard, but I got to go the brain.
Bobby.
I'm going with Jesse.
This is hard for me because I love the Brain and he was great. I almost love him better as a manager and doing other stuff.
Okay.
Whereas Jesse Ventura was the voice of WrestleMania for the longest time, which can't be overlooked. But I like Bobby the Brain Heenan better in WCW, so I'm going Brain. People thought he phoned it in. I didn't. I loved him. Sorry, Clenneth. Gordon Soley and Dave Brown.
I'm not going to say Dave Brown because I am not getting shit on by people. I'm going to say Gordon.
Gordon.
Clenneth?
I'll go Gordon.
All right. Another sweep. Gorilla Monsoon and Joe Test. This is kind of hard.
It's hard for me because I'm a Gorilla Monsoon guy. I grew up on him. But Joe Tess is becoming my favorite.
Joe Test is doing great stuff in the modern era.
Yeah.
Even though the products that he's calling on SmackDown isn't that great, him and Wade still bring life to it.
And he knows the holds better than Gorilla ever did.
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of people are going to get mad, but I got to go Tess.
Gorilla's kind
One
of
Test.
I'm going Gorilla.
I'm going Tess.
Holy shit. Well, we're going to get outrage. I tried Joe Tess over Gorilla Monsoon. I do like
I went Tess because I figured the other two were going to be smarter than that.
Well, it would have been crazy, Gorilla Monsoon and Gordon Soley.
I know. So we just guaranteed Gordon
well,
a
that's not
shot in the next round.
Lee Marshall and Bill Mercer.
Lee Marshall.
I'm going to go Bill Mercer because I like world class.
I'm going to agree with Doug. People gave him shit. I thought he was good. Clenneth?
Lee Marshall.
All right, coin toss. Call it. Who's
Lee
tail?
Marshall's heads.
Okay, Lee Marshall's head. Bill Mercer. Me and Doug won one.
Uh-huh.
God damn it. Hopefully there's not another one. We'll just distract Doug for the rest of the show. Bill Watts versus Sean Mooney.
Bill Watts.
Sean Mooney.
Bill Watt.
Sean Mooney.
Good thing
Sean
it's
Mooney
Sean Mooney.
heads.
Who'd you say?
Sean Mooney heads.
All right, me and Doug Reserve are kind of. Sean Mooney won. You did okay. Sean Mooney's getting
Okay, I'm not calling it anymore. I'm 0 for 2.
JBL and Dio Madden.
JBL.
JBL.
By far.
Yeah.
It's a sweep. Sorry, Dio. You made it to the second round, Bubba. Bob Cottle and Paul Heyman. This is kind of hard.
Paul Heyman actually replaced Bob Cottle in WCW.
Heyman.
I'm going to go Bob Cottle.
I'm going Paul Heyman.
Eric?
Everybody coin flip.
No, we're waiting for you to give an answer.
I went Heyman.
I'm going Cottle. He's one of my favorite.
All right. Clenneth, call it.
All right, I want to say Heyman's heads.
All right.
Heyman makes it.
Heyman did it.
Clenneth and Eric got one. Son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm 2-0.
Heyman's
They're 1 and 2.
Clenneth's good at calling a coin flip.
Yeah.
Clenneth, big coin flip guy.
Big coin. Bitcoin. Vince McMahon versus Marlo Ronaldo. What a maneuver versus Mamma Mia.
Oh,
Mamma Mia.
You went Mamma Mia, Eric?
Yep.
Gwyneth?
I'm going Mamma Mia.
I'm going What a Maneuver.
I like sticking with you, but I can't vote for a guy who I'm calling for Satan or God to take him, so I'm going Morrow.
You went Moral on us.
Yeah.
Moral Ronaldo. Wade Barrett and Macho Man.
Macho Man, my all-time favorite wrestler, but Wade Barrett is just head above whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Wade.
I'm going Wade. Eric's going Wade. Clenneth?
Wait.
All right, clean sheet for Wade. Bye-bye, Macho. Tony Schiavone and Pat McAfee.
Shivani.
Tony Schiavone. Not even a question.
McAfee.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, Clint.
I'm going McAfee.
I'm going Tony.
Clint's like, fuck all this sentimental shit.
Jerry the King Lawler versus poor Tom Phillips. You better not fuck this up. I'm going Tom. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going King.
So am I.
I'm going King as well.
King.
Eric's just like, God damn it, I would have sided with you.
All right. Our final two in the second round, Taz and Joey Styles.
Joey Styles.
Taz.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Eric. I
Wow.
want to side with you, but I think Taz is better. Oh, my God.
I thought Clinton was going to go Joey.
Wow.
I think Taz is a better color guy than Joey is play-by-play.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, this is two great play-by-play guys, Mike Tenay versus Jim Ross. And we talked about Mike Tenay being the voice of TNA. We cannot undersell what he did in WCW. He was great with the three-man booth with him, Bobby, and Shivani. And I remember a few times some of my favorite calls of Tenay being, well, Eddie Guerrero was in a hair versus hair match in Mexico and this and this. And I remember, and fucking Bobby Heenan's like, how do you know this stuff?
Yeah. Is there anything you don't know?
Yeah. And Tenay was like, well, I was there for the show. I was like, oh, okay. But Jim Ross and Tenay, what do we think?
I don't think anybody else is going to do this, so I'm going to say today.
Jim
I'm going
Ross.
Jim Ross.
Yeah. Thank God. I love Mike Tenay, but JR wins. All right, we got some really excited third round matchups. We're starting to cook with peanut oil, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it.
And Eric likes to be covered in Crisco.
Michael Cole versus Larry Zbyszko. A great play-by-play versus a great color guy.
Larry Zbyszko.
Larry.
I want to go Cole.
Duh.
I'm one of the few guys that liked Heenan better than Zbyszko in WCW. So I'm going.
Well, I like both of them.
I'm going Michael Cole. Let's coin flip. Glenneth, call it because I want to win.
Okay, I want to say Michael Cole's tails.
All right.
One heads.
Aha!
Tails,
Clinton.
Michael
3-0.
Cole. Clinneth is the king of the coin flip.
3-0. All right. And that was a hard one. I do love Zbyszko, but I had to give Cole the edge. Steve Corino versus Bobby the Brain Heenan. Can we please end this with Corino now? He was
Bobby.
okay at ROH, but what the fuck?
Bobby.
Clemeth, Bobby?
Bobby, yeah.
All right. Clean sweep. Bye-bye, Corino. He's underrated, though. And I like his son, Colby.
Yeah.
Gordon Soley and Joe Tess. This is a hard matchup.
It
Joe
is
Tess.
The
because
voice of the past versus the voice of the future.
I'm already. I think I already have people that are going to line up outside the apartment here with pitchforks and torches wanting to get my ass because I passed them over Gorilla, but I'm still going Tess.
Yep. Joe Tess.
Joe Tess.
What the fuck?
They don't give a fuck about the past.
Yeah, but he's like he was the voice of the NWA. I mean, he was the soundtrack for Ric Flair and all that. Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, some of the greatest.
I know, but like the thing is that these two, they don't even like doing research for the show. Do you really think they're going to give a shit about the past?
Yeah, but we're passing him up for the voice of the MFTs. All right.
All right, do you want to vote and we'll do the coin flip?
No. I don't want to influence anything. Joe Tess, God bless you. And I do love Joe. Didn't sound like it there. But I do. Bill Mercer and Sean Mooney.
Bill Mercer.
Bill Mercer.
Sean Mooney.
I'll say Mooney.
That'll be a Clinton.
Mooney's tails.
All right, Eric called it. We're going to win still.
All right, Mooney.
Mooney's tails.
All right.
Ha-ha! Bill Mercer. Or fuck. Oh, no. You won.
I finally won.
Yeah, Bill Mercer won.
There we go, Doug.
So you were wrong on the coin flip, but you did vote for Bill Mercer, so technically you were right.
Yeah. I did that on purpose.
Okay, you son of a bitch. That was reverse psychology. JBL and Paul Heyman, two great color commentators.
JBL.
Heyman.
Heyman.
JBL. Me and Eric are finally united.
All right. Paul Heyman is heads.
He's giving a lot of head. Paul Heyman.
Hey, I got one right.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I think it's only because Clinneth and I were on the same side.
Eric's the kiss of death. Paul Heyman.
I've been saying that for years.
Mauro Ronaldo and Wade Barrett. Mamma mia, I'm going Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
I want Barrett.
Where'd you go, Eric?
Mamma Mia.
You love him. I'm going -1. All right, Wade still wins. Nene. Tony Schiavone and Jerry the King Lawler. This is hard. This is the greatest color commentator WWE probably ever had versus the greatest play-by-play guy that WCW ever had.
Tony Schiavone. I know.
One never got to work in WCW and one never got to work in WWE.
No, Tony was in WWE. So.
Yeah, but no one remembers it.
He does.
He's still doing it.
Two Tonys, Eric or Clinneth?
I'm going with Jerry Lawler.
I love me some Tony Schiavone, but let's make it fun.
Okay.
Because I do I grew up with the King, not Shivani.
Right.
I love Shivani's era more. I like Nitro better than the era, but the King and JR, I just think are elite.
Tony Schiavone's tails.
Tony Schiavone won. Goodbye, King.
Here
Doug's been
goes
trying to
Doug.
fuck you all night, and he finally got you. He finally got the King.
Yeah, I know I'm not King's type because I'm not 14.
All right.
Oh my God.
Taz and Jim Ross. You look about 1,400.
Jim Ross.
This is hard because Taz is really fucking good, but I think his time is going to end.
Yeah, JR definitely.
We're going to get the dream matchup
Yeah.
next round.
Eric also said JR.
Clenneth,
JR.
you're not a Taz guy?
He
I'll
wasn't
go
until
with
this-
JR. I'll still go with JR.
What are we in the semifinals or the quarter would this be?
we're in round 4, so this is the quarters.
Quarterfinals, everybody. I'm about to refresh the page on accident.
So we have 8 left, right?
I think so.
Yep.
All right. All right, boys. It's getting nut picking time. Or nut cutting. Michael Cole versus Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby
Bobby
Heenan.
Heenan.
Yeah, I want to go Cole,
Right.
but whatever.
Well, we're giving us 9.
We're tripling the points.
Bobby Heenan beats Michael Cole. But God bless Cole for getting this far, and he kind of deserves it. I think that was good footing for Cole, actually,
Yeah.
to make it to round 4 and lose. Joe Tess versus Bill Mercer.
I've been pushing Tess way too much. A lot of people are going to want to kick my ass. I'm going to go Mercer.
Well, I think a lot of old school fans are going to want to kick your ass, too, because people don't love Mercer's commentary. I'm
Yeah,
going
I'm going Joe Tess. Go there.
I'm going Bill Mercer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Eric's
Do you even watch World Class, Eric?
No.
2 and 2.
just a butt kisser. Let's put it that way.
It's about
Yeah,
time.
like
His
that.
lips are. If you watch the cartoon show, his lips are never on my ass. So the fact that he's agreeing with me, I'm gonna fucking take it.
Ew. Okay.
Bill Mercer versus Joe Tess. Clenneth, call it. I want to win.
All right, I want to go Joe Tess's heads.
All right.
All right, Joe Tess is moving on.
The one that fell on the floor was tails, so it's kind of a Montreal job. It's okay. All right. Paul Heyman versus Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
I think it's 2 really good color guys. Eric's Heyman, Doug's Barrett. Eric's really making it fun here. All right, Clint.
I'm going to go with Heyman.
We're going to do another coin flip.
Or wait a minute, we got a couple people in the chat. Does anybody have an opinion? Who's better, Michael Cole or Wade, or not Mike? Paul Heyman or Wade Barrett?
Paul Heyman versus Wade Barrett. You could decide it right now in the comments with a tiebreaker here. Paul Heyman or Wade Barrett, who is a better color commentator? We'll give 30 seconds to the chat here.
All right, now there's 3 of you fuckers. Somebody come up with something.
Wade Barrett or Paul Heyman? Who's better? Who better? It's getting hot and heavy here. It's getting exciting.
Yeah. I don't know really about being hot, but I know a lot about being heavy.
We've been heavy our whole damn lives.
Yeah.
Well, you were skinny.
He said.
You were a skinny kid,
Yeah.
but then you found cookies.
I
All
found
right.
too many of them. All right, yeah, let's go to the flip.
Doug,
Oh,
Heads is Barrett.
before we put Clint to sleep again, Wade Barrett, heads is Heyman,
Or heads is Barrett.
heads is Barrett. Wade Barrett makes it to the next round. Ha! Goodbye. My client. Oh, may I have another volley, please? One more volley. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
Tony Schiavone versus Jim Ross, probably the biggest matchup in this. And this might decide who wins the whole fucking thing, honestly.
Yeah.
This is a big one, boys. the voice of WCW versus the voice of WWE, the voice of Nitro versus the voice of the Attitude Era. The man,
One of my favorite.
the
Tony
witness.
Schiavone's my favorite, so I'm going Tony.
You're going Tony, baby. And both are working. Both got to work together multiple times.
Yeah. I gotta go Tony.
I'm going Jim Ross.
Yeah, dude, this is fucking hot and heavy. I'm going Jim Ross myself.
All right.
I love. My God, he can't lose here. He's dead. Triple H, you bastard, you son of a bitch, you rotten hell. That's what he's gonna say to you, Doug. If he loses.
Yeah, well, Maven killed your career, not me, JR.
Nobody killed his career. He's a legend. Maven fucking did one drop kick one time, and then he missed the other one.
He eliminated the Taker, yo.
He
Give
eliminated
Vader his pop.
Taker, and then he missed his drop kick at WrestleMania and didn't last too long after that, and fucking sucked. Maven was one of the worst professional wrestlers I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I know I'm the armchair QB. That's my name on this show, and there's a reason, because I don't fucking wrestle. I'm fat, and I know Maven could probably work circles around me. Maven fucking sucked. He was never good. He was fucking trash. He didn't have potential. He had a good look, and that's it. He couldn't talk. He couldn't work. He blew. And
He
now-
was a history teacher in Virginia.
and God bless him for being a fucking, a YouTuber, and I'm glad he's successful and shit.
I'm
but
not.
I'm happy for him, but he's just making his name shitting on the current stuff and shitting on everything, and he's just copying Cornette and everybody else that does it better than him. And calling Triple H a prick and shit, it just sounds like you're jealous that he made it and you didn't.
Yeah.
And like he said, Cena couldn't work, and it's like, bro, you couldn't fucking work.
All right. Anybody in the chat room wanna?
Now that we lost Maven.
All right. So in the chat room, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, we got a tie here. If you want to go ahead.
This is probably the biggest one.
If not, it's going to the flip.
Tony Schiavone versus JR. Who's better? Now that I shit on Maven. Well, she deserved it.
Yeah.
I think these people are liking the flip for some strange reason. That's why I don't want to say anything.
It is fun.
It really is, because we're getting more upset. We're getting more upset at each other, even though it's the fucking coin.
I'm throwing this coin out.
Who's gonna call it?
All right, let's do it. JR versus Schiavone, biggest matchup we've had. It's a tiebreaker 2-2 in the fourth quarter. Call it. Clenneth.
Oh, so I'm going to go JR's tails.
Hopefully your winning streak continues. JR's tails. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. That didn't even flip. That did. JR makes it past. Thank you, Clenneth.
No, he said JR was tails.
What?
I said JR was tails. Yeah, why?
Fuck, we lost. Schiavone made it. Damn it, Clenneth. You lost one.
Okay, I can officially retire.
Son of a bitch. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore.
We're almost
Actually, he should have made it to the finals. What the fuck?
Oh, so should Gordon Sully, and we fucked that up.
JR is the greatest of all time. We can't call this the best commentator of all time anymore. Especially if Steve Carino's going to win it.
Yeah, it's more
He's not
fun
even
that
in it anymore.
it's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's not predictable. Semifinals, here we go. You fucking pricks. Bobby Heenan versus Joe Tess.
Heenan.
I'm still going to go Joe Tessalor.
I'm going to agree with Clenneth. Joe Tess.
Joe Tess is going to win this thing. I'm going Bobby
Daniel.
Heenan. I'm with Eric.
Of
Bobby,
course you know.
he's my favorite color commentator of all time.
He's my favorite color commentator, too. I'm just trying to be, a little different, so...
I'm going to
Joe
enjoy
Tess
Joe
has-
Tess later during Kit Wilson and fucking Ilya Dragunov, but still, I like Bobby Heenan. All right.
Joe Test heads.
Shit.
Joe Tess is giving head. Flip.
What's in New York? Oh, this is crazy.
Did he say Joe? Did you say Joe Tess was heads?
No,
Yes.
he said Bobby Heenan, I thought. What the hell's going on here?
I didn't say
Joe
anything about
Tess
those. I said, what's going on with New York? It's
All right,
crazy.
well, Joe Tess won. Sorry, brain. You're getting fucked. So Joe Tess has made it to the finals. Is Joe Tess going to go against his partner or Tony Schiavone?
Tony.
Tony.
Tony. Wade did a long run, but he's getting swept here. Now, who's the greatest commentator of all time? We don't have what? What do you mean? Well,
I mean, we don't actually know. I mean, our opinions technically suck.
I honestly think this didn't turn out that bad. It's not Mark Madden versus Dio. It's not the battle of the Maddens.
Is
Joe Test,
the current legend, not current legend, but current
legend.
Best in the best versus one of the best of all time, and Tony's fun.
I'm going Schiavone.
I'm going to agree.
I'm going Schiavone.
Yeah. God. All right.
We only have to do the show for like 3 more minutes. Stay awake, motherfucker.
Wait, I just gave it to Joe. All right, Tony won. He's the greatest commentator of all time. I don't think he deserves it because a lot of people shit on him. This was fun, guys. What are you doing on the cartoon show next week, Doug?
You
I was
mean
about
tomorrow?
to say. Yeah, well, I thought you were walking away, so I got a little flustered. I threw it to you, like, all right, I'll see you.
All right.
I gotta pee.
Well, hold on a second.
Oh God.
Tomorrow night on the When Tunes Combined YouTube channel, it is episode 37 of Animated Hour of Power. And we have with us we're going to have Naruto Next Generations taking on Sword Art Online and Lishi Zatin. Cowboy Bebop takes on Dragon Raja. Black Lagoon, which is one of Clintus, is taking on Dr. Stone. And the main event is going to be the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack taking on Total Drama Island.
All right. Next week, we're going to be talking about the XWF, the history of the company. It was an alternative for WCW. I will send you guys the video. We'll talk about the 3 episodes that aired. We'll see everybody next week.
All right. Clintus, have fun in Tampa.
Well, you guys
have fun. Be safe.
Be safe, brother.
Yeah. And Eric, clip him.
All right.
Yes, sir. Bye, boys.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.